So far, Siglent scopes were in the 100-200 MHz range. They never went up to 500 MHz or 1 GHz, which is the, well, semi-professional, professional area of the scope market. At this year's Embedded World, this changed. And I've got, I think, world exclusive footage of the SDS5054X, which I'm now going to show you, which is basically Siglent's 500 MHz 4-channel oscilloscope.
So essentially, as you see here, it's the 500 MHz unit from Siglent. It's still a prototype which they friendlily let me play around with. So you see here, these are the buttons for turning on and off. You see these are even backlit, which is very nice. Albeit the brightness is a bit low, but they are backlit. It's a 4-channel unit.
So far, so good. The scope has 4 channels and it has a lot of buttons. But it also has a touch screen. And because the touch screen is really important nowadays, let's take a look at how it fares and at what decoders are available.
Pushing the auto setup button, and then we see here we've got the vertical intensity adjustments. So we see the scope responds very quickly if you click around. And where is the decoding features? So if I push decode, here I can pick between the various protocols. Let's try this again. And you see here that you get IIC, SPI, UART, CAN and LIN like on the other scopes, but here you see you have a touch screen and you can use the touch screen to zoom in and out in the predefined steps.
Well, the touchscreen still has some room for improvement, but the scope definitely is quite usable, especially as you also have the buttons for most of the features, and I prefer the buttons anyway. The next question is what the technical specs actually give us. Siglent promises 5 gigasamples. The question is whether that's for 1, 2 or 4 channels. And I had some communication problems with the really nice rep because his English isn't perfect and my Chinese, well, sucks. But I'm showing you the full scene because you see the two of us fiddling around with the user interface, and I think some of you might enjoy that.
If I enable all of the 4 channels, how much is the maximum time base which I can get? Okay. The 5 gigasample, when is it being offered? In which mode? 5 gigasample. Yeah. How many channels can I use in 5 gigasample mode?
I think it's channel 1 and channel 2 use the same 5,000.
So,
5
yes?
giga.
5 giga is only 1 and 2.
No, you use the channel 1 or channel 3, you will get the 5. But you use the channel 1 and channel 2 at the same time.
Okay, so if I'm using only channel 1 and channel 3, I get the full 5 gigasample. If I use 2 of these or 2 of these together, then the ADC gets split. So it looks like the SDS5054 has a total of 2 ADC ICs. We've got 1 here and 1 here.
During interviews and demonstrations, I always love to ask our host to show us the favorite feature of the new product. And here is what he selected. It's basically a segmented memory-like feature which allows you to look at the present and at the past in a fashion similar to what you can, for example, do with LaCroix's oscilloscopes.
What other features would you like to show? What are highlights of the product? What are you especially proud of?
I don't know now. It's the prototype now.
Yes, but what is especially cool? What do you like especially about it? Don't be shy.
I think history computation you will.
What does it do? Tell us more.
After you press the history,
yes?
you will get the all the waveform before you press the history. It's a past waveform.
Okay.
But usually for the recorded vibration, after you start the recorder, you will start the recording and then you
Okay.
means press and then record. But our history means press, you get the past waveform.
How? So I can segment acquisition, basically. It's segmented memory.
Memory.
The history, what is it? It's okay. So it's segmented memory basically. That's nice.
And then, before I let you go, I found one more really cool feature, namely an expansion slot. It looks like the SDS5000 series can be expanded with additional hardware such as an arbitrary waveform generator.
And we see here on the back there is no GPIB on this machine anymore. And well, as our friendly guy showed us before, there is the possibility to have a segmented memory in here. And there also is a wave scan button here for a wave generator, but it says please connect arbitrary generator. So apparently this port in the front here is going to be enabling the access to some kind of advanced hardware.
And with that, it's time to end our little demonstration of the scope. I wanted to apologize for the video quality because, well, I was filming it with my BlackBerry at a loud and noisy booth, but I still hope that you liked the preview of this unit. And I also have to apologize, I don't know yet when the scope will be available. For me, the hardware looked like it was quite ready to go, and the software, except for the small touchscreen problems, looks quite mature. But as said, we don't know what Siglent's management decides.